What up brothers, it's Cliff King returning. Welcome back to my channel for another new review. As you can see, the figure in front of you is Scott Lang, the Ant-Man from Hot Toys. I'd like to start off by saying a massive thank you to Peter Kitchen from the Facebook community, friend of mine in there. Posted this figure up for sale on Thursday. I saw the price and liked it. I paid him instantly, sent it out Friday, and I received it Saturday morning. So I'm going to crack on, get it reviewed up, get it scored up, tell you my thoughts. A lot of people have already inquired if this figure's going to be for sale straight after. I'm not sure, but it doesn't hurt for you to message me just to find out. It's always nice to have buyers in case I do decide to sell it on. As you can see, the figure is a beauty. The likeness is very good. I think a lot of people would score this high, but you're going to get my honest opinion. In fact, I'm looking through the viewfinder and I think we're having trouble seeing him. Let me just activate the pin particles. That's it. You can see him a little bit more clearly now. As you can see, the figure is a beauty. I will be getting some tight shots, getting some detail, scoring it up fully and telling me thoughts. Although I don't score the movie anymore, the source material, I'd just like to say I did enjoy this film. It's well, light-hearted, kind of iced film, a step away from the grandiose films that we've been seeing from the Marvel Universe. And although they keep the tie-ins to the Civil War and then on to Infinity War, I think it was just a small enough caper to make it something a little bit different. I did like the light-hearted feel to it. I think that were really good. Don't take themselves too seriously, didn't try and go too dark, and I think it made for a really good film. Right, so we'll roll straight into packaging. And as I move away, show you the artwork, which is quite eye-catching. I do like the use of the black and red and white. I think it looks really good. It's got that sort of 60s feel about it, sort of the opening credits of a film, something like Austin Powers would spoof. I do like that about it. You see the sort of faceplate in the silhouette of an Ant-Man, and then it gives the impression that it's shrinking down and it's running away. Moving down, you see the Marvel Ant-Man, and then down for the symbols on the back. On the side, you get the silhouette of an ant. And at the back, the Ant-Man theme wraps round. You've got your warnings on the back, Ant-Man on this side, and on the top, just the titles again. It is average standard, and it is just a slip cover with a window panel inside. Nothing sort of too spectacular. Straight down the line, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, although I do like the artwork. Right, rolling on to the likeness. As you can see, I've not really posed him up, simply because in a minute I'm going to cut to a demonstration on how the helmet works, and then I'm going to talk about the likeness, which will cover the helmet and also the Paul Rudd or Scott Lang likeness underneath. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off by cutting to this little demonstration video. Right guys, just wanted to do a little helmet demonstration for you. Took the head off, as you can see. Just makes it easy to handle, although it is easy to do once it's on the figure. First things first, that is the battery cover. It's underneath the crown section of his helmet, which just pulls off. It has a little catch there, as you can see, which goes into there and clicks into place. Just pretty easy removed. I do recommend you try and click it out from the back, not from the sides. That's probably the best way to do it. Then you see the little switch here. When you use the switch, it lights up the front, and you see it has a light in from the side as well. Now what I will say is, when it's closed, and I will show this, it's not the best light in the world for the front lens, although with a little bit of adjustment you can get more light through. But I just wanted to make that clear before I put the helmet all back together. So like I said, the switch is there. Again, to put that in, just put the catch in the back and click it into place. It's always hard to do when your arms are at full length because you're holding onto the because you've got the camera in waist, should I say. Get in your bitch. That's it. So just click that into place. Right, now moving these parts. As you can see, the stem down the jaw does extend, but all the movement is in this area, the rotation and the slide back and forth. So I find the best thing to do is rotate it upwards like so, and then slide it back, holding onto the thicker sections here. The mouth plate will rotate so you can put it where you choose to, as you can see. And then the magnetised mask section just easily attaches like that. So there you have the closed mask. Again, to open it, you can just remove that, or you can slide it back like that. And then these sections, push them down, rotate it, move the mouth section out of the way. Really good design. I really like what Hot Toys have done. And then again, to get that section out, you're best off doing it at the back. What we'll do is we'll put the lights on, have a look at it in the dark. Put that back in. And then put that on. And now what we'll do is fade it to the dark so you can see the light. So now, as you can see, the light coming through the mask, that's the front visor, and then from either side, really nice bright light. If you're finding that not much light is coming through, just move your visor up slightly. See, the higher you lift it, the more light comes through. If you trap it right down, you're restricting the light a little bit. But really nice design. So as you saw, works really well, even with a light up feature, which I might not show in the review because I will be doing a separate video which will just do the helmet demonstration. So on the likeness, I think it looks awesome, and I was expecting sort of an head with the face uncovered, or it was just basically a different a magnetised mask, which you do get. But I didn't understand that all this moved as well, sort of the jaw section, the rotation through the ventilation system at the front and all that. I think they've far exceeded what I expected. I think the look of it is very metallic, as you see there. There is battle damage in the paintwork, which is a nice touch. Gives it that, I don't know, that worn feel or weathered feel. I think if you look through the lens, you can see the eyes, which is a really nice touch. Yeah, I just think they've done great work altogether, to be honest. Very, very impressed by it. I think it's one thing to capture the likeness of sort of a robotic head or a mechanical head like they've done here, but also they've done stunning work on the faceplate underneath. So what I'll do is put a fade in and we'll have a look at this Scott Lang face. So you've probably seen the pictures I had before I got it, and I knew one of the strongest categories on this figure was the likeness. You're probably looking at that and thinking same as me, it's Mike Hannigan from Friends. That's why I can't help thinking that every time I look at him. It is Paul Rudd, obviously. I think they cast him really well. It brings the sort of the comic side to a pretty ridiculous superhero if you think about it. I know moving on we're going to see the powers stretch further, and I'm thinking becoming Giant Man and sort of the in and out of size. I think we're going to see a lot of that. He has a different set of powers to most of the other Marvel heroes, and I think they will be able to utilise him really well. But on the figure, I've got to say the work that Hot Toys have done is awesome. It's one of the best sculpts I think I've seen to date. I'm not saying the best because I've seen some really awesome ones. Jack Sparrow, the DX13, a lot of them really. It's getting to the point now where they're all pretty stunning. It's just what certain people can see and others can't see. But this one, it's unmistakable. I don't think I've seen a bad report about it yet. I think it would have been nice had they given you a completely unhelmeted head, but maybe that's for the Civil War version or the Infinity War. But this is just enough. And I love it, I've got to be honest. It is a stunning likeness on a really good figure. So I'm going to give the likeness a very, very easy 5 out of 5. Rolling on to outfit, and I'll tell you from the start, it's a really strong category. Show you first, pose. I'm just about to press the button to release the pin particles and shrink down. His hand on his hip, just in still an upright position. I think, I will say at this point, this figure's one of them. if you can get it in a natural stance or a characteristic stance, sort of the goofy nature of Paul Rudd, and it just works so well. It's just one of them, a really, really good display piece. I like looking at it from there because it gives that impression that it is smaller than real life. And the fact he's got the button just ready to press, it's going to shrink down even further. Just, I don't know, you might see that one on Instagram. Right, let's talk outfit. I have covered the helmet in depth. I think it is pretty much perfect. If anybody disagrees with that, you can say. The only nitpick with it and niggle is the hoses that go into these little holes at the back. They're forever popping out. It's not too much of a nitpick, but you will notice it. The hoses, you do push them in, and I don't know, every time you move the air door open or close the helmet, you do get them just slipping out. The head and neck are separate, as I've said, but the outfit still looks good across the neck and doesn't hinder the articulation because of that. And then I do like the shoulder and chest setup. I want to say shoulder there. I put chest and shoulder together. I'm a fucking idiot. Right, it works like this. So sort of from there across to here, and then straight down is sort of a waistcoat style setup. So it's quite hard and sculpted. That's why it keeps the abs section and the chest. You can see the sort of the materials they use, all the hosing, what sends the pin particles around the outfit. All look really well done. The paintwork, the colours are fantastic, to be honest, really good. So it does hinder the articulation through there. Again, I will mention this when I get to the articulation section, but I can't think of another way they could have done it. Another thing I do like is sort of these sections. As you see, this sort of piping that comes down straight down the shoulder and onto that is not actually attached to the material underneath. So you can rotate that material, that section, and it ain't attached to that, although it looks like it is. Also, the suit then goes back inside the waistcoat section. As you can see, there's a join there. So again, the arms, the shoulders move quite freely. Same on the other side. We'll have a look around the back while I'm turning it. See, everything done really well. We know we Hot Toys, they're not like cutting corners right back because we never look at it. It still looks awesome, as you can see. While we're at the back, I will just say that the belt just pops off there. You can just slip that open and then you can move it to your desired position. If I just move back round actually at that, I will say the belt is quite a soft rubber and never feels like it's getting in the way. Inside there, it holds your small pin particles. If I show you that, the little cylinders, you've got those, and they just push into there. You've got red on that side, and then I put the two blue ones on this side. So again, looks really nice, and the belt's not fixed. So again, it helps when you try and articulate the figure. Moving down, you see it is all generally faux leather, but then with this piping on it, and then your speckled reds. Moving down, the elbows and knees are covered with this sort of motorbike stretchable material, or the material like what we see on the biker jeans at the moment. Just nice, sort of just gives that good articulation because there's some flex in the suit. Again here, where this is all painted on, and then the sort of the piping's really fine, and then down into a small ankle boot. The ankle boot's sculpted really well, does pop on and off really nicely. And one thing that they have done with the suit is round the ankle pegs and the wrist pegs is sort of, it surrounds the peg, so the peg's inside the suit, but it keeps it from riding up, which is a good idea, and it's been a long time coming. I'll show you on one of the wrists shortly what I mean by that. And then at the back, obviously all the sections all look really nice and clean and very accurate. Awesome looking suit, and like I said, when I review these figures I try and think, right, if it were me, how could I have done it any better? And on a figure like this, I can't think how I would have. I'm sure some people pop up and say, well, I would have done this, I would have done that, but I don't know, it far exceeds what I would have done, if I'm being honest. I just say, under there, as you can see the rib section, that's to help with the movement of the suit under. I think it's so much better than something like a Captain America outfit would be. I think they've really sat down and thought, right, what's the best way we can do this, and they've done it. And now I've seen this, I'm started thinking about the Batman from the Batman and Superman film. I hope the outfit is something like this and not a rubberized suit, because I think it works so much better like this. Although with the Batman I realise it's very true to his form, it's got to be very fitted. Where this one is, although in certain sections like here you will get sort of a natural looking trouser fit, Batman's got to be a lot tighter. But I don't know, I think there's better materials out there than the silicone and rubber. If you want to pose your Batman, you're going to have to go with something like this, but I'll leave that with Hot Toys to decide. Not much more I can say. As you can see, it looks perfect, it functions really well. Not much more they could have done, I don't think. There's no place where I think, oh, they fucking shouldn't have done that, they should have done this. So, credit to them. I will give credit where it's due and give the outfit, again, a very easy 5 out of 5. Just quickly before I forget, the point I was making where the suit wraps around the wrist peg is like that. So you wouldn't be able to pull the sleeve up because it's so fitted around the peg section. So I do like that about it, stops the ruck up. Rolling on to articulation. And I've got to say I'm quite impressed in this category. I think although it's wearing a tight faux leather suit, I think because of the panel work and where the separations are in the material, I think it's still pretty well articulated. I'm going to move in, try and cover it. First gear, good luck. Pretty much went for the running pose from the front of the box. So, yeah. I'll start off by saying the neck has an upper ball joint, so the head moves quite freely on top of that, and then a ball joint at the bottom, so you can pull his head quite far back, which is nice. Moving down to the shoulders are standard true type, I would say, and because of the sort of the split or the shoulder padding mechanism, it will rotate inside the sort of the inner waistcoat section, so to speak. Also, as you see on the shoulders, he has these silver sections here. They're not attached to this part of the suit, so you can still rotate the suit and it will move quite nicely, which is good. He has a double bend elbow, which works well because of the sort of, if you see the ribbed section on the suit, it does fold up quite nicely. So you get a nice tight bend, as you can see on the elbow coming round. So that is good as well. It does have an ab crunch section, although it doesn't work that well, if I'm honest, simply because the sort of the double layer through his upper body section, so the sort of the muscle makeup on the abs, if I show you as it comes round, that's like a thick section on the front with the suit underneath, so it is restricted. Think of something like the Captain America and you will know what I'm talking about. The belt, like I said, does unbuckle at the back, so it is a completely separate piece. You can move it up and down freely, so it won't get in the way when you're trying to bring a leg forward or push one back, anything like that. The hips, again, move freely, although there is slight restrictions because of the suit, but it's not too bad, if I'm honest. It comes forward, as you can see, about that far with the upper leg, and then if we look at this knee as it comes round, it is a double bend knee. Again, that's not too restricted by the outfit because of the sort of the biker style knee padding. Again, on the feet, the articulation is still pretty good because it's not a full length boot, and although the suit goes down into the boot really nicely, it still lets the foot move quite freely. So I am really impressed. Obviously it's not super articulated like I don't know, like one of the damn toys would be, or certain figures on the outfit like a Superman or a Spider-Man. It's not like that sort of thing, but because of how they've done it, I think they've really excelled in sort of getting a good looking suit, but also making sure it doesn't hinder the body too much. So, do I get a 3 or do I get a 4? I'm gonna give it a 4, I think, because they could have had a very statuesque figure, like a Batman style figure, using a suit like this. The fact they didn't, I'm quite impressed by it. So like I said, the articulation, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to the extras or accessories. Before we do, let's have a look at the figure in flight. It's just jumping off, just about to land on Anthony's back. He is. Have a little jump down. Beautiful. that's made possible. I'm going to make this clear. Most of you loyal subscribers know that this is a new Goblin stand. Not only do I say it in every review I use it, but in most of them as well, comment section, I'll get, what stand is that you're using? Fucking hell, I've just said it. I've showed fucking front name. It's New Goblin from Spider-Man 3. I don't know whether you can still get them or not. You can get dynamic Hot Toy stands. If you want to get them, they're out there. But everybody always asks, and I always say, the New Goblin stand. So I've got to make that clear. Any pose where I do that and it's not on the floor, I normally use that because it's so well weighted with the figure. I can slant it against my steps and get a pose like that. So, making that clear, what does the figure bring? Obviously in the box you get the figure, the awesome mask, although because they did so well on the mask they don't give you the separate head sculpt, which not really a problem, although that's what I thought they would do. On his belt you do get the little canisters of the pin particle. You get 2 red ones like so. You get 2 blue ones which are inside there. I can't really get my fingers into that, I don't think. Yeah, I can. I'm fucking lying to you. 2 blue ones, so they're a nice touch. Moving across, you get the new Marvel style stand with sort of sandpaper finish with a nice graphics, again very in theme with the red writing and sort of the effect here and here. Moving down you do get Ant-Man, Scott Lang. It's not Hank Pym, oh no, it's the new Ant-Man. And then you get the tiny little Ant-Man. Let's see if we can zoom in a tiny bit from here. Whoa, not that much, pal. Go back, go back. Right, we'll do a little test here, I think. Jesus, you think you're keeping your arm steady, but you're not. Wowzers, he's right far away. Stop fucking about now with zoom. Just show you. Just come on the little base is a separate figure. You could have him displayed with your other Avengers and it'd be a nice little touch. Stand up, you bitch. So yeah, nice little addition. Moving across, I've got him pressing the trigger hand there and then just a relaxed hand there. Looking down, we get these sort of crawling hands, which I don't really understand if I'm honest. Don't know what pose you would really use them in. But anyway, you get those left and right. You get this button which would hold either the pin particles or the shurikens. A fist left and right, and then a relaxed left. I don't know why certain figures have more right hands than lefts, and that is the case with this. There's only a couple of lefts, but a load of rights, so I don't understand. Anyway, the 2 detonators, you can see here, nicely painted. I think they do attach. I'm not sure where. Could have looked, couldn't I? Could have looked in instruction manual, but I fucking didn't. So yeah, you get 2 of those. You get 2 of the shurikens, 1 to make his opponent shrink, 1 to grow. You see, nicely done again, well painted. The capsules I've showed you, the wrist pegs, and also an instruction manual tells you how to move the head and how to switch out the batteries and so on and so forth. The batteries are inside there. So, the stuff he brings is quite nice, although there's not a lot of it, as I've said before. I think a totally unhelmeted Scott Lang head would have been nice, but that might come in a different edition somewhere down the line. I get a feeling we're going to see more and more these variants of each character, and I know at some point they will do the Paul Rudd head. Now that is also questionable because it took quite a long time for him to show us the likeness, so I'm thinking, did it take a time for the likeness to get signed off? Was Paul Rudd not happy with it? I don't know, but I do like the sculpt they went with, but it just seemed to take them a long time to show them us, so that's possibly why they never gave us an unhelmeted head as well. But like I said, I can't score it too high because it don't bring a shitload of stuff. I'm going to go straight down the line and give it a 3, simply because, like I said before, the weapons would be a 1, the hands would be a 1, a decent base, and then this little trinket here would also be a 1. So yeah, giving the extras a 3 out of 5. Moving straight on to value, and I will tell you, because I always say, if you're buying and selling in the Facebook groups, I think it's good to keep it transparent so everybody knows what figures are worth. I paid $190 for this. Like I say, I think as well, if I'm being honest, I think had I not bought it straight away, I think somebody would have outbid me and gone higher than that. I think the release price were probably about 220 in Hong Kong. I'm not sure what the UK sellers are selling it at, but 190 I thought that's acceptable to me, because I think it wouldn't go much lower than that. Probably we'll see one in about 6 months for about 150 around the groups, and if you want to wait, then that's up to you. But I thought 190 were about fair. I wouldn't have gone no more than that, but like I say, I think if I'd have not paid instantly, I think Peter would have honestly have sold it for more than that had he have asked. So, and to sort of compound my thoughts on that, as soon as people saw my unboxing, I've had 5 people already say, if you do sell it, can I have it? So that's the situation. I haven't said yes to any because I don't know what I am going to do. I don't like to start saying, yeah, I'm going to sell this one, I'm going to do that, because I don't know until I finish doing the review or until I've had a look to see what is coming out next, so to speak. But I think 190 were pretty fair, although on a little bit on the high side. Now, compared to other things, it's not. It's probably the right price. I remember days of Hot Toys being 100 quid, 130 quid. Them days are gone. I think that is clear, particularly when we're trying to get everything fast. So, I don't know. It's more than I want to pay, obviously, but it's pretty much the going rate. So I'm going to score at that price with the stuff it brings. What I'm going to say is, the stuff it brings is a little bit underwhelming, although the figure itself sort of outshines what I expected from it. It's better in hand than it looks on pictures, and it looks awesome on pictures. It is a really fantastic figure, and again it shows just what Hot Toys can do when they take the time. They get a license that they obviously want to replicate well, and they do put the work in. I can't find no faults with the figures as such. A little bit light on the extras, like I've said, but other than the clean head sculpt, I don't know what else could have gone in it. Maybe an ant, or maybe like a small bunch of ants, if you know what I mean, sort of like a display of ants. Maybe the little statue on an ant. I don't know, I'm just sort of spitballing, trying to put ideas together, but I can't really fault the figure as a whole. The outfit's awesome, the head sculpt is awesome, and it does look really well displayed up, as you can see. So on the value, I'm probably going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'm not going to say it's awesome, because to get a 4 it would have had to been really low priced. It weren't, although you might get it at a low price if you don't mind waiting a bit longer. So yeah, I think 4 is about fair. So to sum up, I've given the figure a 24 and a possible 30, which is a really good score now for an Hot Toys figure, bearing in mind the box weren't that special and it don't bring a lot of extras, so that's where the points went missing. But I don't know, not much more I can say. I would recommend the figure, unless you're one of those sort of, I don't know, I want the definitive version, because I do feel another version will be on the horizon, but I don't know how soon that will be. Bear in mind, Ant-Man's been out on Blu-ray for nearly a year, I would think, and we've only just seen the figure. So even if Civil War comes out at cinema this month or next, whenever it comes out, then we see the Blu-ray back end of the year, it's going to be over a year before we see another Ant-Man figure, so bear that in mind as well. I really like it. I've enjoyed reviewing it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram if you can. But for now, it's the Clipper King, and I'm out of here.